Good afternoon, students. In previous video, I had explained you about Microsoft PowerPoint 2010 and its features. Now in today's session, I am going to explain you chapter 7 of class 6 computer, that is Microsoft Excel 2010. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify the parts of the Excel windows, understand the differences between a workbook and a worksheet, understand the data and its importance to Excel, how to enter data in a worksheet, and how to perform calculation with a worksheet. So firstly, let's take a view on the contents we will cover in this chapter. Features of Microsoft Excel, starting Microsoft Excel, workbook and worksheet, components of worksheet, entering data in a worksheet, performing calculations, and saving a workbook. Now about MS Excel. We all deal with number in one way or other. We all have daily expenses which we pay for from a monthly income that we earn. For one to spend wisely, we need to know their income versus expenditure. So Microsoft Excel comes in handy when we want to record, analyze and store such numeric data. So Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet program that is used to record and analyze numeric data. Think of a spreadsheet as a collection of columns and rows that form a table. And alphabetical letters are usually assigned to columns and numbers are for rows. The point where a column and a row meet is called a cell. Now first we will see the features of Excel. What are the important features that are given for MS Excel 2010? Formulas are mainly used for performing simple and complex mathematical calculations, and functions are built-in formulas used for calculating percentage, interest, average, etc. So formatting features improve the appearance of data. The data is automatically recalculated in entire worksheet if any change is made in a single cell. The data can be quickly searched and replaced instantly. One more important feature is here that autofill. Autofill option is available to enter data in a series in MS Excel. And data can be viewed in graphical form such as charts which help to understand, analyze and compare data in an effective manner. Now see how to start MS Excel. See this picture. With the label it is given for 1, 2, 3, 4. Following steps are here. First you have to click on start button, then click on all program. Then next is to click on Microsoft Office, and at last you have to select Microsoft Excel 2010. When you open the Microsoft Excel 2010, this next picture, worksheet will open on your screen. Now about workbook and worksheet. A worksheet is a collection of rows and columns. When a row and a column meet, they form a cell, means intersection of row and columns are cell. Cell are used to record data and each cell is uniquely identified using a cell address. So columns are usually labeled with letters while rows are usually with numbers. Now about workbook. A workbook is a collection of worksheets, and by default a worksheet has 3 sheets in Excel. So you can delete or add more sheets to suit your requirements. And by default the sheets are named as sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So you can rename the sheet name to more meaningful names, that is daily expenses, monthly budget, class, subjects, etc. Now see this picture. This picture shows the complete spreadsheet window. Workbook is also called a spreadsheet. The workbook is a unique file created by MS Excel 2010. Now first component is title bar. The title bar display both the name of application and the name of the spreadsheet. See, it is given Book 1 Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is the application name and book name by default it is given. You can rename it while saving it. Next is menu bar. The menu bar display all the menus available for use in Excel 2010. The contents of any menu can be displayed by left clicking on the menu name. Next is toolbar. Some commands in the menu have pictures, like in paste option it is given for cut, copy and paste. So these picture or icons associated with them. These pictures may also appear as a shortcut in the toolbar. Next is column heading. Each Excel spreadsheet contains 16,384 columns and each column is named by a letter or a combination of letters. Similarly, for row heading, each spreadsheet contains 10,48,576 rows and each row is named by a number. Next one is about name box. This shows the address of the current selection or active cell. Which cell you had selected, this shows in the name box. Means in this diagram it is selected the A1. So name box displayed the cell name A1. Next is formula bar. The formula bar displayed information entered or being entered as you type in the current or active cell. The content of the cell can also be edited in formula bar. See, in formula bar it is given where fx it is written. Now next is cell. Cell is an intersection of column and row and each cell has a unique cell address. In the picture here, the cell address of the selected cell is A1, means it is selected of column A and row 1. The dark border around the selected cell is the cell pointer and also called the active cell. Now see, at last scroll bar is given for vertical and horizontal scroll bar. The vertical scroll bar located along the right edge of the screen and is used to move up or down the spreadsheet, while the horizontal scroll bar located at the bottom of the screen is used to move left or right across the spreadsheet. So this is about the spreadsheet windows. Now see the components, main components of the worksheet. First, as we discuss about the cell is denoted with the cell address, like I had given here A1, or if A5 is written in example, means A5 refers for column A and row 5. Active cell, the highlighted box is cell pointer and data can be entered only in the cell where the pointer is placed. Next is range. A range is a group of contiguous cells which form the shape of a rectangle, and it can be as small as a single cell or as big as the entire worksheet. You may specify a range by writing the starting cell and followed by the entering of the cell address. And both can be separated by colon symbol. Like if in example it is written C1 is to C10. It means from C1 to C10. It is a range that we have selected. Next one is name box. This area in diagram it is given. Name box is located just above the column heading on the left side of the window. And this area display the location of the cell pointer. Now formula bar. It is located on the right of the name box and this bar shows the data and formulas that you enter in the active cell. That where A1 is given, it is for name box, and where Fx is written, it is for formula bar. Column heading. Already we had discussed that alphabets across the top border of the each worksheet is column heading. And these heading identified columns with letter A to Z, AA through AZ. Next is row heading. It is marked with numbers from 1 at last and along with the left border of the worksheet. Last one is status bar. A status bar is located at the bottom of the Excel window and it gives us information about the current selection. And it includes the name of the current selected command or current activity. It also displays the warning messages where battery, zoom in, zoom out options are given. So that's all about the windows and components of the spreadsheet windows. Now next is moving around the spreadsheet. Several keys or commands are given here. To input data in a worksheet, we have to move the cell pointer from one cell to another with the help of various keys. Either you will use mouse to click on the each cell where you want to type, or you can use the keys. These right arrow keys move one column right, left arrow key moves one column left, as up one moves one row up and down moves one row down. Page up key moves one screen up in a worksheet, and page down moves one screen down in a worksheet. Similarly, control plus home key moves the cell pointer to the first cell of the topmost row, that is A1. When you press the control plus home key, it will display the cell of A1. And if you press the control plus end, it moves the cell pointer to the last used cell on the spreadsheet. So these are the several commands and their function that is very useful while using spreadsheet. Now how to enter data in a worksheet? See, steps I had given here, you can try it and see what are the results. You have to observe it. First, open a new workbook, and of course by default sheet 1 is active. So click on the cell D1 and type weekly expenses. Okay, steps I had given here, I will show you with the help of diagram. See. Click on the cell D1 and type weekly expenses. See, in front of D1 I had started typing weekly expenses. Now select the cell C1 to F1. C1 to F1 you have to select and click on the merge and center button. See, it is given merge and center button in the alignment group. So it will merge C1, D1 and F1. So this weekly expenses we shows as a heading. Now click on the cell A2 and types item. Now press right arrow key, type Monday in B2 and Tuesday in C2. Likewise, you have to enter the data in rest of the cells. Now click on the cell A3, type eatable and press enter key. The cell pointer shift to the cell A4. Now type cold drink and press down arrow key to move the cell A5 and type milk. Similarly, you have to enter the remaining data. So this is how you can enter the data in a spreadsheet. You have to use all the function keys that I displayed earlier. Commands left, right, key up and down. Now types of data. Three types of data can be entered in a Microsoft Excel worksheet, that is numbers, text and formulae. Numbers. We all know about it, numbers. Numbers are the values that consist of numerals from 0 to 9 and the characters like addition, subtraction, explanatory mark, at the rate, percentage and exponent, etc. These all are included in numeric data. They can be used in calculations and in addition to actual numbers. So Excel also store date and time as numbers. And by default the numbers are right aligned in the cell. Now next is text. Text data contain alphabet, numbers, spaces and special characters. And text data is not used in calculations. Numbers and formulae we will use for calculation. So by default text data is left aligned. Right aligned and left aligned means if we type any number, it will display on the right side of the cell. And if we start typing text or alphabet, it will display from the left aligned in the cell. Most often, text entries are used for worksheet like heading, names and identifying the columns of data. Last one is formulae. A formula is a mathematical equation involving number values, operators and cell address used for performing several calculations on a worksheet. So formulae can range from basic mathematical operators, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and formula always begin with equal to sign. This you have to remember that when you will start typing in fx, that is formula bar, you have to start with equal to sign. Now how to perform calculation? While entering the data, you had made this worksheet. Now how we will do calculation in same? So Excel has a powerful features to perform calculation on data, and that can be addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of numbers using formula or functions. So formulae are equations that perform calculation on values in a worksheet. It is a combination of reference, numbers, operators and Excel functions. So to calculate this, see this is selected from B3 to G3 we have to calculate. Means for eatable items we have to calculate. So how we will use it? To calculate the total expense in H3 up to G3 we had marked the eatable numbers. Now in H3 we will type the total expense. So click H3 means you have to select active cells should be H3. Now in formula bar you have to type equal to B3 plus C3 plus D3 plus E3 plus F3 plus G3 and then press enter key. So the sum of the values of the cell B3 to G3 is calculated and displayed in the H3. Plus we had written means of course we are doing addition. You can use auto sum button also. It is given in home tab, formulas tab. You can use sum equal to sum then bracket from B3 column G3 close bracket and enter key. Similarly, we can use average, count, maximum and minimum functions. Now working with worksheet. While working with worksheet, you have to switch between the worksheet. Means when we add a number of worksheets, only a few worksheets can be seen on the screen. So switch between the worksheet, click the arrow buttons on the sheet tab. See in diagram, several arrow buttons are given for first, previous, next and last. This will display the sheet as you selected. Means if you had selected the previous one, it will show the previous one worksheet. And last button is for insert worksheet button. When you click on it, one more worksheet will add. Now if you want to add a new worksheet, double click. So to add a new worksheet, select the sheet before which you want to place a new worksheet. Then right click on the sheet tab. If you want to rename a worksheet, double click on the sheet tab you want to rename and it will be highlighted. Then type the name and press enter key. Now how to add a worksheet. Select the sheet before which you want to place a new worksheet. Now right click on the sheet tab and select the insert option. The insert dialog box will appear and select the sheet and click OK. And direct method is I had given here, switching between the worksheet. One symbol is given, insert worksheet button. When you click on it, simply a new worksheet will add it to your workbook. Now if you want to remove any worksheet, place the mouse pointer on the worksheet tab that you want to delete. Then right click on the worksheet tab and select the delete option. Now at last, how to save a workbook. To save a workbook, you have to follow the given steps. First click on the file tab and select the save option. When you click on it, a save as dialog box will appear. Here, a save as dialog box will appear. Select the drive and the folder where you want to save the workbook. Type the file name and click on the save button. The file will be saved with the extension .xlsx. This .xlsx is the extension for worksheet. Okay, this you have to remember. Or simply you can save your file by using shortcut key, that is Ctrl+S combination. Thank you students. I hope you had understood the chapter very well. Now you have to try this at home. In my earlier video, previous video, I told you to download the MS Office application in your mobile or system so that you can do it by yourself.